Hey everybody, this is James, aka Jimmy Pockets. I want to get on here and do a little follow up on this FEMA story out of Florida, plus another little twist to the story, and they're related, not related. So we'll just say that. So the lady has come out and uh, spoke out about the atmosphere or the practices of how FEMA is running their disaster relief. Uh, so she's saying that they're told that if they feel uncomfortable or unsafe dealing with owners of these homes who are damaged severely in the Hurricane Milton situation, at least for this situation, that they don't have to deal with them. They make a report and move on. Uh, they're saying they have instances that people come out of their houses threatening them, tell them to get lost or whatever, and that's the policy about if they feel unsafe or uncomfortable to just bypass it and make a report, and those people refused help according to her. Saying that, uh, it's in writing. If a home has a Trump supporting sign in their yard or in their window, they have the right to bypass because uh, to them that's makes them uncomfortable to have to deal with a Trump supporter. Uh, there's nowhere that that's a good thing. Should be allowed. I get it. People are frustrated with FEMA because we all know about the situation around North Carolina and then places with Hurricane Helene, how FEMA treated them. So they automatically have a bad taste in their mouth when it comes to dealing with FEMA. Saying that, uh, bypassing somebody who obviously is probably not thinking straight, under a lot of stress, if you can't let them know that you're there to help, sorry about whatever rumors they may have heard or whatever, that you're willing to give them a hand, help them to get through this, whatever, that's your job. You're supposed to be able to deal with distressed people. Uh, Not that if you feel uncomfortable or you feel unsafe. Well, when a police officer goes into a call, I'm sure they feel unsafe. They still do it. Same thing with firemen. They're going into a burning building. They are definitely going to be unsafe. They still do it. So this person, this Marnie Washington, actually gave up the name of her supervisor out of Washington, who uh, what it is this group text that was best used practices for their job. And almost at the very top of the list is not having to deal with Trump supporting houses. It's in their list. So this person is a guy named Chad Hersey. Looking at social media, he definitely is not a Trump fan, which shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter at all. So saying that, she's come out, she's trying to play the victim, and I'm sure she was thrown under the bus for certain parts of this. I agree, but she was willing to go along with it. She didn't have a problem with it until she got fired. So she was fine with the practices. So that's kind of like a disgruntled employee coming out and wanting to rat on everybody and their brother that they work around. because they're upset they got fired. Well, HR always handles these type of people as a hostile individual who's just disgruntled because they got fired. They were fine with what these people were doing when they had a job and worked with them, but once they get fired, they're no longer cool about it. So, saying that, let's move on. There's a situation that I've just recently come across to where there's a town in Michigan, and it's Oscoda, Michigan. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. They have a little airport there. It used to be a Air Force base, and it was called the Wordsmith Air Force Base. I guess FEMA has contacted their city officials and saying that they're going to stage 350 trailers, semi trailers, and supplies along with other equipment at this airport. And it's not a rumor, it's factual. They're not there yet. I guess they're coming because on October 28th, during a township meeting, the city officials talked about this, about being contacted by FEMA and staging these 350 semi trailers and other equipment on site there, supposedly to handle any kind of disaster or emergency. They're there to support, and it seems kind of unusual. They specifically mentioned 6 counties in this area, and I'll give you the list of the counties. Eaton County, Ingham County, Ionia County, Kent County, Livingston County, and Macomb County. Why have these 6 specific counties listed? And when you look at it on the map, they're almost in a straight line from each other, going east to west or west to east, however you want to look at it. Some of the locals up there spoke out after this township meeting about what emergency or disaster is FEMA expecting to come in that area up there. I mean, we're talking about Michigan. This ain't Florida. It's not a coastal town. It's not a earthquake-ridden area. So what emergency are they needing to stage so much equipment there? And why are they in Michigan when they should be down south where the damage really is going on right now? And I guess according to the weather, there's another hurricane in the mix starting out in the Gulf that's going to hit the west side of Florida. Supposedly could be possibly a Category 4. So why is this equipment going to be staged so far north? Got to put a tinfoil hat on here. So if you look at the map, and there's also some stories that came out that also go along with this. And there's possibilities either way. It depends on how you want to look at it. Just west of them in Wisconsin, Racine, Wisconsin, there's a disputed Senate race going on, and that there was this typical, in the middle of the night, early morning hours, they had this huge ballot dump that flipped from the Republican Senate seat being ahead to the Democrat Senate seat now being ahead. It's the same old, 4 something in the morning. They found this huge amount of ballots that had to be counted. And when they got counted, it flipped the seat. And what's odd about this is if you look at the amount of numbers that President Trump got compared to Vice President Harris, usually if somebody's voting all red or all blue, and it's typically how it works, however you want to look at it, um, the numbers come close to whatever the presidential race is. But that's not how it is now. The Democrat senator now has more votes than Vice President Harris does. And the Republican senator has a little under the amount that Vice President Harris has. When really the Republican Senate seat should be closer to President Trump's numbers. Saying that, it's a conspiracy theory, but it's the same old, same old. In the wee hours of the morning, there's this huge spike from one candidate to the other of who's now ahead. And so, saying that, it's directly in line from these counties that these FEMA trailers are supposedly going to be set. Why? What do they know that we don't? I don't trust any of these people until for sure in January when President Trump takes the office and can conduct business as the President of the United States. Now, saying that, there's another little twist to this, but I'll get off on this other deal with the flipping the ballot deal. They're having the same exact situation in Arizona with the Senate race down there. Same thing. Big, huge ballot dump at the wee hours of the morning, and it flipped the Republican to Democrat being up. And same thing with the average of votes for the presidential race compared to the Senate race. It's flip-flopped. You can take that information for however you want. I don't know. It's like I said, you got to put your tinfoil hat on here, but it makes no sense. But there's also one thing that came out this week that's also kind of odd. Is in Canada, just north of where they are in Michigan, there they have their first cases of the bird flu, human cases. So, you can call me gun shy when it comes to that because of COVID. You never know what's going to happen or whatever reasons this government is so untrustworthy. I mean, it's really sad. So I'm hoping that there's no issues. President Trump gets in office. And I'm still waiting for the mainstream media to apologize to him for him claiming that FEMA was not helping Trump supporters in these areas like North Carolina and Florida. And they all called him a liar and trying to politicize something that wasn't true. And he was putting people in danger saying this when it was the truth all along. So, I'll hold my breath on them, apologizing to him because they never will. But they need to talk to this Chad Hersey, this young lady's boss. And Jim Jordan and them needs to call both of them into a congressional hearing and get to the bottom of this. I mean, she's claiming victim. They threw her under the bus. They were told that if they have a certain feeling about a house, of people in the house, they don't have to deal with it. Well, if you're afraid of that kind of thing, then you need another job anyway. You don't need to be in that position. So maybe they did you a favor firing you because obviously you can't handle the mental stress of helping people who have just about lost everything. Should be ashamed of yourself, actually. So, anyways, I just wanted to come on here and mention that. And once again, I'm getting a little bit long here on the video. But I'll keep you up to date on this the more I find out about it. And I'm going to talk about it in my live stream tonight on my Empty Pockets Garage channel. It's my night owl edition. I have for people who have different hours of the day they work, different parts of the world where they're in a different time zone. So at 1 a.m., I go live Tuesday nights, Wednesday mornings, just to hang out, talk about current events, political and non-political, and, just chat. So, till the next update, this is James, aka Jimmy Pockets. I'm out of here.